Oh boy, it's October, and that means it's gonna be spooky, scary skeletons from here on out. Or at least for the month. Man, I got so many ideas. I could probably play something clickbaity, like Five Nights at Freddy's, or maybe something actually scary, like maybe the first Resident Evil game. Or I can make a list of all my top 5 favorite jump scares in gaming. Ooh, the possibilities are endless.
7 weeks later.
Dang it, we're already in the 3rd week of November and I haven't even done a single Halloween video. Oh well, at least I'll go do it next year.
Are you just gonna give up?
Yeah, probably.
Come on, just because it's November doesn't mean you can't do a stupid video about Halloween of some sort.
Nah, I'll probably think of something else stupid.
Just do it.
Well, okay then. But don't expect anything amazing.
I never do anyways. Being small and little and young, a lot of things used to scare me about video games. Maybe it's the fact that you go from a nice sunshiny level to a weird dark spooky haunted level. Maybe you're interacting with a character who you thought was nice and cool but ended up turning evil or scary for some odd reason. Or maybe it was just something like you're claustrophobic and you're inside a small corridor and it just really scares you for some reason. Anyway, these are 5 things that scared me in video games. Now these moments don't necessarily mean they were scary, but they scared me when I was younger, so I'm going to talk about them. And if you have your own opinion, well, feel free to tell me about it. Put it in the comments, or even better, make your own video about it to prove me wrong, because you know, the internet's full of people who love to prove other people wrong. Without further ado, let's get started. Also, happy Halloween. It's going to be in November, isn't it? Resident Evil is a very scary game. But I didn't get to play any of it because I was too scared to go past the opening cinematic. When I first rented the game from Blockbuster, yeah, Blockbuster, I thought it was going to be one of those cool games because it had an actual gun and you shoot monsters. I thought it was one of those games that the cooler older kids played. Little did I know it was an actual horror game, and when I saw the opening cinematic where those actual real people, not 3D models of polygon people, but actual people get attacked by a weird monster and it had a lot of gruesome blood, I was too scared to even go past the opening cinematic. I immediately turned off the game and never played the game after that and returned it back to Blockbuster, and I didn't even know what to think. I mean, most of the games I played before this were like Spyro the Dragon, Gex the Gecko, Crash Bandicoot. It was all fun, and I thought I was going to be playing this cool game and ended up getting so scared that I didn't get to play it. But that's not where it ends off, because after a year or two later, I thought I was a little bit more older and I did remember the blood part, but I just thought that's just the opening cinematic. I'm pretty sure if I just skip it and just skip all cutscenes, I can just play the game and just have a cool time. Little did I know, that whole scene of the zombie slowly tilting its head really scared me cold right there. Ugh, it was creepy. But because this is supposed to be a horror game and this is a rated M game, it's not going to be that high on the list because it's supposed to scare you. The ghost houses or ghost mansions in Super Mario World were pretty fun, and in my opinion, it was my favorite levels in the entire game. The music was nice and eerie. It wasn't scary, but fun and eerie. The enemies were ghosts, but they weren't scary. In fact, they were kind of silly at many times. You don't just go from point A to point B, you gotta figure it out. This entire level is a huge puzzle. Doors don't open because they send you back to the beginning. You gotta go past certain doorways because there's actually a secret doorway hidden by hitting a P-switch. It was all pretty mind-boggling, and it was pretty fun. So going to Super Mario 64 and finding the haunted cage inside that boo, I was thinking, oh cool, maybe there might be some cool puzzles to solve to find these stars. So naturally, I had my guard down. But that would have been the bad thing to do because, well, there's a jump scare in this level. It really freaked me out. Maybe it's the fact that, well, a giant piano that looks like it belongs into the level attacks you out of nowhere. I've never seen an attacking piano in any sort of Mario game, or any attacking item in any Mario game whatsoever. So this This really got to me. It freaked me out. And also, when you think about the level itself with the weird spinning merry-go-round with that weird music, the eyeballs, the attacking books, the whole stage itself was pretty creepy. But yeah, the piano kind of pushed that creepy factor into a jump scare factor that made me not want to play that level anymore. It's messed up. But no one expected it, so it was actually pretty scary. Lavender Town. Now this has nothing to do with Lavender Town syndrome, nothing to do with Pokemon Lost Silver, nothing to do with Green or Blue's Eradicate dying. This has nothing to do with any sort of creepypasta, since I've only heard about creepypastas when I was in high school. So this is just a little kid's perspective. Playing Pokemon, you capture some Pokemon, you defeat a couple gym leaders, your Pokemon are leveling up, they're getting stronger, you get attached to them, you're taking them everywhere on your little Game Boy Advance, playing Pokemon Red or Fire Red, and you're having a grand old time. Then out of nowhere, you hit Lavender Town. The music gets eerie, and you can feel sadness, because when you talk to people, they mention this Marowak who died, and you're like, Pokemon could die? The thought of a Pokemon dying has never struck into my mind at the time. The idea of any pet dying has never struck in my mind at the time. At the time, we're still alive, so I never had any idea of death of an animal. And then people start talking about a dead Marowak, and then you go into the Pokemon Tower, and you see all those gravestones, tombstones. It left an empty pit in my stomach because, well, the idea of my Venusaur dying, or at the time it was probably an Ivysaur, or the idea of the Pidgeot, or the Onix, all of them dying. And then that brought up memories of real life, because what if my dogs died? And then that brought up even more ideas, because then I thought if pets could die, people can die. And this was brought up a bunch of depressing things that I couldn't even play Pokemon Red anymore. I couldn't play Pokemon Fire Red anymore either, because I was playing both of those at the same time, comparing the games. And it was just depressing. And then it started freaking me out, because come on, the music was sad, people talking about dead Marowak's idea of a Pokemon dying, or the Pokemon you trained and raised and beat gym leaders with possibly dying. And then the ghost Pokemon, ugh. Not to mention the chanters. Some of those people said some creepy things like, give me your blood. Some of those could even say actual words. The sprites for those chanters were creepy as hell. And it was just scary. Ugh. I don't want to think about death again. When I was younger, the ocean really scared me so much. The ocean was so big and unknown that it freaked me out. Aquatic life was so weird and freaky that it freaked me out. And overall, every time I went to aquariums, this irrational fear of the glass breaking really freaked me out. So when you had to go to Aquatic Towers in Spyro 2, Ripto's Rampage, it really freaked me out. The entire stage itself is kind of the whole epitome of why I was afraid of the aquariums in general. The fact that it looks all dry and safe, but the second you do something like press a button, the whole place starts filling up with water. It really freaked me out. It got to the point where every time I had to replay the game, I would always ask my older cousin to play this level for me because I didn't want to deal with it. It really scared me. But eventually my cousin moved away, so I had to play this level by myself. So I tried doing it, and overall it unnerved me, but it didn't do so much in my mind until I saw the robotic sharks. So those robotic sharks just basically made me afraid of the stage again because it just reminded me how unknown this place is. I didn't know what the thing was going to do to me. I thought the sharks would just like basically hit you a little bit, but it basically insta-KO'd you. It would eat you whole, and that just scared me because sea life scares me at the time, and seeing that happen to me in the game, it just freaked me out some more. Throughout the Crash Bandicoot series, there's been a lot of wacky characters. From a half dingo, half crocodile mutant named Dingodile, from a muscle-bound barbaric looking tiger named Tiny, to a scientist with half her face as a nuclear reactor named Engine, but none of those are really freaky, they were just funny. But if there's one character that just breaks the line of funny and goes on to basically freaky, it would be Ripperoo. Ripperoo is that blue psychotic, straitjacket wearing, self-explosive, crazy laughing kangaroo that just loves to blow himself up. And every time I see Ripperoo, it just freaks me out. Why is he always jumping? Well, because he's a kangaroo. But why is he always blowing himself up? Why is he always laughing so maniacally? Why is he wearing a straitjacket? It just scares me sometimes. I mean, from all the encounters, from having to make him land on his own nitros block in Crash 2, to having to beat him in a race in Crash Team Racing, it's just kind of freaky. Now it doesn't freak me out, but when I was younger, this character just scared me so much. And one of the most scariest scenes I remember was when you had had to talk to him with a dialogue in Crash Team Racing because he'll continuously laugh, but you see subtitles on the bottom. So you're just hearing that laugh as he's talking, and it's just scary. I mean, Tiny, he's not known for talking, but at least he can say stuff like Tiny Crush Puny Car. But Ripperoo, he just doesn't stop laughing.
So this was a video of my top 5 least, or what was it, top 5 things that scared me when I was a kid. Yeah, that was supposed to be a Halloween video, but it never happened because I was too busy with these guys getting the shot. Too busy with these guys playing that Battlefront 2 video game.
Can you move out, please? Can you move up? Can you move, please?
Where are you going?
Oh, no.
Oh my god!
There's the first one.
Switch weapons.
Why?
Because you're running slow. You just destroyed a ride.
Oh! It sniped us.
Third time.
Oh shit! God damn.
And basically, these guys took up most of my time, which I should have been spent making another video, like an Amiibo talk. But if you like that video, just go watch our playthrough.
Please don't favorite, subscribe, don't know.
He obviously means just favorite, subscribe. The lighting is terrible, isn't it? That being said, I'm the Metroid Trader, and I'll see you next time.
There's a Road 34 website.